So I feel like there are two or maybe three different ways that people vacation. Have you ever gone on a vacation where you just sort of like sit at the pool or on the beach and you don't really do anything the entire time you're there? You sort of just only spend your time relaxing. I feel like that's one kind of vacationer, right? They just go and their entire time is spent like recuperating from their like everyday life. And then there's this other kind of vacationer who goes somewhere and is like doing something 100% of the time. They're like going out doing tourist things, trying different foods, going out to like bars and restaurants, going sightseeing, going hiking, going trekking, like meeting a whole bunch of new people, all this stuff, and they end up coming home and being completely exhausted. And there's sort of these two opposite ends of the spectrum. We've got like our relaxer and our doer. And I feel like the best way to vacation is actually somewhere in the middle. This past winter, I went to Thailand and it was spectacular. Like, it's one of the most beautiful countries I've ever been to, and it was one of the most wonderful vacations I've ever been on. And I think it was because there was a really good balance of like doing things and then also having time to relax. Like, we saw waterfalls, we rode around pretty much the entire island of Koh Samui. We tried different foods, we did some adventuring, we ate bugs, I sang on stage, like we went to these markets, all of this kind of stuff, and it was really, really cool. But we also spent time at the beach, we got massages, we had time to sort of hang out at the pool and relax a little bit, like talk to some really great people, meet some really great people, take pictures of stuff. Like we did a lot of everything, but not all of it was exhausting. We had a good balance of time going out and exploring and time sort of recuperating and enjoying just being in location. And I think that in our daily lives, we just do a lot, like 100% of the time, which is why we love the weekends, right? It's a chance to stop doing things, stop working, and sort of be able to come back to ourselves. I think we sort of have the people who work really, really hard during the week and use their weekend to recuperate and to sort of come back to themselves. But then Monday swings around and they're right back at it, and it can be really exhausting. And then there are the people who sort of work all week and then get to the weekend and are like, this is my chance to go do things. This is my chance to, do all the things that I wasn't able to do during the week and go out and exhaust myself. And then Monday rolls around and you sort of end up paying for those decisions too. So it's a little bit like our vacationers. We've got one that is looking to sort of relax and recuperate during the weekend, and one that's sort of wanting to go do all of these things and explore. And I think that we can find a better balance between these two, both during our work week and during our weekends, so that we don't sort of end up in this cycle of exhausting ourselves or not being able to do all of the things that we might want to do. This is why I want to talk about F.M. Alexander's principle of non-doing. While it's not realistic for us to stop doing everything, right, to live a life of complete non-doing, what we often don't realize is that we have this residual baseline muscular activity that's happening all of the time. So this could be muscular activity, or it could be like mental exhaustion, or emotional distress, all of these things that we just sort of have a baseline. And if you've ever just sat and consciously thought about relaxing and then realized that you're still holding on to something, clenching your jaw, or holding on to your breathing, or balling your fists, or anything like that, you'll sort of understand that even if we think we're relaxed or think that we're doing all this stuff to sort of stop what we've been doing, we have this sort of residual tension that sort of just is always there, this sort of baseline muscular activity. So FM Alexander sort of realized that there's this sort of baseline residual muscular activity that's happening all the time, and if we could undo this and stop interfering with ourselves, we would be able to use inhibition and direction to recruit our body in a different way to accomplish a task or sort of do an activity, and that would make us more efficient and work more towards the way that our body is actually designed to function. Non-doing is a way to sort of strip away all of this baseline muscular activity, come to something that is going to be a little bit more neutral and more efficient for our bodies, so that we're not working ourselves so hard that we need our weekends to recuperate, or going out and doing everything because we're maybe afraid that we won't be able to do it later on in life or what have you, but we'll be able to do the things that we do in a more efficient way so that we don't tire ourselves out, and so that we have a better longevity as we're living our lives. So stay tuned for Sunday, where we are going to have an activity where we look at non-doing, and hopefully we'll be able to strip away some of that excess tension for you guys out there, and you'll be able to find something that's a little bit more neutral. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you guys have any questions or comments or things that you want me to talk about, I am happy to help.